Hey everybody, I'm Rachel. Welcome back to the channel. I don't know what I expected from my last video, but wow, it wasn't that. It clearly struck a very unexpected chord with a lot of people. To say that I am surprised and humbled is an understatement. When I posted it, I was a much, much tinier channel, and I had no expectations of it resonating with anyone. I fully expected it to anger a lot of people. I didn't realize I was saying what so many people were thinking. A lot of people asked who I am, so I figured I'd take a few minutes and tell you. Some of my older subscribers know bits and pieces, but some of it may be new. Don't worry, I am not going to rehash the whole cancer thing. That is a long damn story, and I have got a couple of videos that do that. So if you want to go digging, be my guest. First, let me start by saying thank you for the support and the encouragement, old and new. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Next, who am I besides some random lady babbling on YouTube? Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I'm nobody. And maybe that resonates with people. I don't know. I don't have fancy degrees or claim to have all the answers. I am just someone who's been through some stuff, learned a lot, and wants to share it. I do my best to back up what I say, but I often think, oh my God, what if I'm wrong? I admit I have serious imposter syndrome, even more so after that last video. Sometimes I feel like I don't belong here, that I'm not qualified to be here, and why the hell would anyone want to listen to me? So I know you're probably asking, well, why the hell did you start the channel then? Solid question. I will get to that. But first, here's a little background so you maybe understand my perspective and where I'm coming from. I am a random early Gen Xer who's unfortunately had breast cancer twice. My dad was late greatest generation. My mom was early silent generation. I am the youngest of 9 kids. I had 3 older sisters and the rest were brothers. I'm a what you see is what you get kind of person, I was raised in the Catholic Church and consider myself a recovering Catholic. I went to parochial schools my entire life. I believe in God, but I do not believe in organized religion. I studied marketing and psychology in college years ago. Marketing because my parents pushed me to it. Psychology because I have always been fascinated by the human behavior, the human brain, and the human body. I was a mediocre student because I hated school, except psychology. I aced those courses. I've always been inquisitive. I'm told I was always asking questions, and my big thing was just 2 more questions. I have worn a lot of hats in my working life. I have worked in restaurants as a teen and elsewhere in the service industry. I've worked in politics, I've written speeches for people. I've worked in HR where I interviewed, wrote job descriptions, and departmental policy. I sold real estate briefly, and most recently, I was a massage therapist for over 20 years. Hands down, my favorite job ever. Because again, the human body fascinates me. As part of my continuing education, I've taken nutrition classes as well. Probably because of my ADHD, I am all over the place, like a squirrel on caffeine. But I'm married to a very grounded and practical engineer. For what it's worth, I drive him crazy and I make him roll his eyes. A lot. I have 2 20-something kids. My son works in the trades. My daughter is in college pursuing a STEM degree. For anyone who doesn't know, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I worry about both of them. The trades are invaluable, but they are constantly judged. And STEM, especially women in STEM, let's just say I am concerned about what some people in this country are trying to do to both fields. As for politics, which I know a lot of people are curious about, even though I worked for a particular party, I have never voted straight party. I look at not only issues, but character. Always have, even when I was directed to do otherwise and be loyal to a party. My beliefs have always fallen into the moderate category, like most of America, but suddenly I am considered very liberal, even though my views have not changed. I believe in term limits and age caps for publicly held office. At this point, I believe that everyone who runs for office should be checked for a spine, because I don't think very many of them have one anymore. I believe people have the right to live, dress, love, and be however they want with no judgment from me. I don't understand anyone's need to judge people based on their income, their skin color, the way they dress, or who they fall in love with. And I don't believe God does either, especially when it has no impact on them. If God judged like people do, that would make him or her an asshole. I believe everyone is entitled to respect until they're not. They're entitled to education if they want it, and health care. This country, any country, should take care of its people regardless of age, economic status, or anything else. Personally, I think that makes me a good human and nothing else. And that is the only label I really care about. Like I said, I have ADHD and the attention span of a 5-year-old sometimes, but I'm also a research nerd. I'm probably a little weird, the good weird, not the weird that made it a political insult, so damn it, I'm taking that back. My daughter frequently says having a weird mom builds character. I overthink, and again, I question everything. I always have, much to the chagrin of my parents, teachers, priests, and nuns. Some of my friends call me Mama Bear because apparently I am protective of everyone, whether I know them or not. I hate bullies. I am not everyone's cup of tea. I am more like a shot of whiskey. My sense of humor is dry and dark. I'm sarcastic, and I swear more than I should, but I try to keep it under control here on the channel. I use CBD to relax, sleep, and deal with pain. I like true crime and crime shows. I love music, all kinds. It helps me focus, it keeps me calm, and it motivates me. I am always wearing headphones in public and at home because I am easily distracted. I'm an introvert, but I'm not shy. So actually, I'm an ambivert. I'm a Jeep girl and a tomboy. Do we still call people that? I don't know. I have tattoos that I didn't get until after my breast cancer diagnosis because I have always loved them, but I was afraid to get them. I love constantly learning. I think we should all always keep doing it. I am never content with the status quo. As for this channel, I started it after my second diagnosis because breast cancer changed me, not just physically. It opened my eyes to a lot of things, like the way I treated myself, what health and happiness actually mean, what's important and what's not. When you get a cancer diagnosis, especially an advanced one or a second or third one, you truly face your own mortality, and it is a colossal reality check. I realized I was living my life according to other people's ideals. I was trying to be a good person before, but I realized I was ignoring things I shouldn't. I was keeping things inside, and I was not always standing up for what I believed in. I realized there's a lot more to health than eating right and exercise, and that stress and mental well-being play a huge role in the rise of chronic conditions as well. I looked around me and a light bulb went off. A lot of people live life the way I was. Some are better about it, a lot are worse. I went looking on YouTube for people who thought like me and had been through what I had been through, and I didn't find it, even though I know I'm not unique. Yes, there are a lot of people who talk about their cancer on YouTube, but they seem to focus on the treatment that they go through, which, don't get me wrong, it is fantastic and it's incredibly brave and it helps a lot of people. But I really found no one who talks about the after. What cancer gives you, how it changes you, how it helps you grow. This channel is about finding ways to cope when life is shit, about how to be happy when things suck, encouraging people to advocate for themselves, stand up for and take care of themselves, mentally and physically. You cannot help anyone else if you don't help yourself first. Cancer also took a lot from me, but not just body parts. It took away fear. It took away doubt and apprehension. It truly helped me grow as a person, and I wanted to share that with people in the hopes of encouraging others to do it before they face a crisis. Now, regarding my last video, I did it because, like I said, someone called me stupid merely because I disagreed with them. At first, I rolled my eyes. Then it pissed me off. Later, I was watching some news videos on YouTube and reading the comments, and I realized that it gets tossed around a lot. People insulting people just because they disagree. No rational argument or comment, just insults. I know it's always been going on, but for some reason, it just really clicked with me that day. Then a Bonhoeffer video popped up, and it was like the universe was saying, watch this. That's what triggered it. I did some digging and I decided to do a video on it, and I recorded it the next day. I was really apprehensive because it's basically just my opinion, and we all know what they say about opinions. Did I make mistakes? Yes, and I totally own those. I really want to address a couple of the mistakes and some of the criticisms, some of which are valid and some of which made me roll my eyes and think, really, that's what you took from this? Some of them were just insults. First, let me address the John Wayne quote. I had a lot of people, some incredibly kindly, some not, remind me that John Wayne was a bigoted man. I had honestly forgotten that old interviews with him had surfaced several years ago. I knew it, but I forgot. I used to watch John Wayne movies with my dad as a kid, one TV and all, and my dad loved John Wayne, so I loved John Wayne. I remember being crushed when I heard about his comments and beliefs. The quote was one that I had heard for years, and I just threw it in at the end because it popped into my head. I think I was so nervous about posting the video that I wasn't thinking like I should have, and I totally own that mistake. Next, I mispronounced Carl Jung's name. I pronounced it Jung instead of Young. I got called out on that a lot, mostly very politely, some a little condescendingly. I know. I was recording, I mispronounced his name, I swore at myself on camera and re-recorded it. Then when I was editing, I deleted the wrong part, and I didn't review the video as much as I usually do because I just wanted to upload it while I had the guts to do it. Then I was accused of playing the sympathy card for mentioning my breast cancer, which I was told was irrelevant to the subject. That pissed me off. I have never done that, and I never will. I don't want or need pity. My breast cancer was the impetus for this channel, and in a lot of ways, the video. I also want new viewers to know my motivation. It's really what gave me the courage to post that video and others. My dad was a Marine, and he used to tell me a lot growing up. You want sympathy? Look in the dictionary. You'll find it somewhere between shit and syphilis. So while I can easily extend sympathy and empathy, I don't want it for myself. As a matter of fact, it makes me incredibly uncomfortable to be on the receiving end. And by the way, my dad and I were very close. He taught me to think for myself and stand up for myself. So I do not want anyone saying he was bullying me when he said stuff like that. He was not. There were numerous insults hurled, many withheld by YouTube, calling me names, questioning my intelligence, the fact that I'm a woman, and people trying to prove how much smarter they are than me. Blah, blah, blah. First, I have never claimed to be highly intelligent or better than anyone, but I do have common sense, and I'm not an idiot. I've made mistakes. I have done stupid and horrible things myself. I am far from perfect, and I never claim to be. Secondly, as I said, youngest of 9 here, dozens of cousins, mostly older than me. Plus, I was kind of a nerd growing up, and I'm a blonde woman who, before they so rudely turned against me, had big boobs. I have been bullied, ignored, made fun of, teased, underestimated, screwed over, and judged most of my life. You are going to have to work pretty hard to hurt my feelings or make me feel bad about myself. I am not an insecure person anymore. If I had thin skin and got offended easily, I surely would not be on YouTube. So, to all the, excuse my language, assholes out there, I say bring it if that's what you're really inclined to do. Now, my favorite insult, someone told me I look like Steven Adler, the former drummer from Guns N' Roses. I asked him if I was supposed to be offended by that because I usually get that I look like David Coverdale from Whitesnake. Seriously, I even posted this on my Instagram a year ago. His response was, take it however you want. Again, if that is your goal, you're really going to have to work harder to hurt my feelings. Oh, and speaking, this tree back here, a lot of people asked about it. It is a white oak. The other one back there is a pin oak. That said, several people accused me of recording the video in the fall and holding it for some nefarious reason, and their proof is that there are still leaves on the tree. And that's what some oak trees do, guys. They keep a huge portion of their leaves until spring when the new ones start coming in. There's a name for it. I think it starts with an M. I just don't remember what it is. I mean, come on. Seriously? I have no hidden political agenda here. People need to stop looking for motives that are not there. That is not what this channel is about. As for fact-checking me, I don't mind that. I encourage it. How else do we keep learning? Just, be nice about it. All that said, I just want to spark a conversation or make you think about or look at things differently. I hope that I'm a calming voice that encourages you to stand up and be heard in a not an asshole kind of way. My thoughts and opinions won't always match yours, and that's fine. I am not trying to make anyone match my thinking. I just want to encourage you to think, question what you're doing, what you're believing, and what's really working for you. That is what I'm doing here. I love a good conversation, and that's what I treat these videos like. Sometimes I feel like I don't belong here. Maybe I'm just full of it, and maybe I should keep to my little introverted self, but I won't because I'm stubborn. Anyway, if you are okay with all of this randomness, the outspokenness, and the maybe chaotic approach to wellness and life, welcome. Like I said, I'm a little weird. Just remember what my daughter says. So if nothing else, maybe you will walk away from my channel with a little extra character. If you want to debate me, tell me I'm wrong, or just get philosophical, I'm down for it because honestly, I love learning about and from people. From the comfort of my own home because large groups of people, ew. But if you are thinking, what the hell, I am out, I get that too. That said, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I hope you stick around. As always, take care of you, and I will see you the next time. Bye-bye.